Alright, it's day 2 of this operation. Gonna pressure wash the entire frame, and then I'm gonna start doing some cleanup. We'll find a spot where we can do this that isn't covered in ice. I'll drop and plug the fuel lines, drop the tank, plug the fuel lines, and then we're going to examine the frame and hopefully start cutting and cleaning. So we got a loud noise warning here. We're going to check the frame now. It's all pressure washed. You hear that? This is what it should sound like if this part's good. Hear the difference? It sounds hollow, higher pitched. Okay. Right there. Got a thin spot there. Got a thin spot there. If I just hit hard enough, it's going to go through there. So this whole section up to, let's see. Sounds pretty good there. Yeah, you can hear it. Sounds solid there. So from about here, and we'll go all the way back to here, I think. Now the other side's a little harder, but I know it's bad. I know it's worse, actually. So let's check the outside. Not bad. What under here? I can tell that this is probably fine. Oh yeah. Hear how solid that is? That's all the way around. That's good. It's kind of an experience thing. Like if you've not done it before, then you kind of have to listen for the tone changes. The deeper the tone, here I'll show you again. So, bong 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 bong, ping 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 ping. That's kind of what you're looking for. Let's see here. Oh, I'm gonna get wet now. All good. Hold on. Okay, no, never mind. I thought I saw a carpet hanging down there. Alright, it's not so bad. Whew, that's what died there on camera. So that's pretty good. I think now I'm going to move it back over. We're going to do this up by the house there. I got a clear spot. Man, my camera work really sucks today, doesn't it? I'm going to take the tank off, which shouldn't be too bad. Let's see how much there is in it. Oh, that was the other thing I should film. Pretty happy with what we got going on down here. That seam looks good all the way around. A little bit here, but we'll clean all this up when the tank is out, and we'll epoxy coat it. And the brake lines too, actually. Like, we've still got original paint. There's a little bit. What's right here? Yeah. So that's just a little bit of film. If we sandblast these lines and repaint them, I think we're going to be okay, at least for now. But we may have to get rid of them anyways and run new ones. We'll see what happens. But they're all in all pretty good shape. It wasn't that bad under here, really. There's a few rocks, but I don't know if you can see it here. Here. You hear that? Whoa, sorry. Drop the camera. Listen. There's some serious... There's about this much crap in here. I don't know how far it's going to go. Probably to about the cab mount here, I would think. But there'll be a solid layer of just rust and mud in there. Now we got to take care of that. And then afterwards we're going to put some holes, bigger holes right here. I increased the size of this one here when I got the truck, but it's just not big enough. I think we're going to go quite a bit bigger, and then we'll put a little bit of a reinforcement around it. You can see how red the mud is on my finger there. Let's see if I can get any of that out. See the rust flakes on in there? That's pretty bad. Okay, back to work. We're in on the gas tank side, and you know what? First impressions. First of all, my bolts came out, all except for this one here. And it was coming out, but then it stopped. So I think I can tap that one and thread it back into the frame. But I mean, that doesn't matter because all this is getting cut out anyways. But you can see it's pretty bad. This one goes a little further towards the cab, but it sounds okay in there. But over here it is crunchy and crusty. But the top, I don't know, I might only have to patch half of this. I probably won't. Ideally, I'd like to cut this all out, same as the other side. We got a lot more going on this side. I'm gonna see if I get this bolt out. But yeah, it's not looking too bad. Brake lines look good. Really happy so far. Like this is going way better than I expected it. Look, it's starting to look now like the time-consuming part is going to be frame prep for paint. But you know, I'm not complaining because that's easy. This is more. Well, I mean, this isn't that hard either, but I've been making puppies about this for the whole winter, so actually having it out and looking at it and realizing it's not really as bad as it was in my mind is a nice surprise. Just cut this chunk out, and there's nothing in here to be too surprised about. But if you got one of these trucks, this is almost guaranteed, unless you've been really fortunate, to be what's inside of yours. And fortunately for me, it really does look like it's just this side that's bad. But there is a heaping helping of crap in here. Oh, there's that weld. So there, I don't know if you can see that, that's a weld where this piece, this inner piece and this outer piece meet. That's our seam, so we want to cut this off and grind that down. And then we're going to weld right on to the other half of the frame here. But, you know what? Up here is actually fine. So the outer portion of these frames, I believe, is like, I don't know, 1/8, I think. But the inner part here is about 2/3 the same thickness. So it's actually quite a bit thinner from the factory. At least that's what I've been told. Oh, I can feel the end of it right there. Let's see if I can pull it out. Careful not to cut myself there. There we go. That actually didn't go that far. I do try to flush my frame out every year, so believe it or not, like some of the bigger chunks I can't get, but believe it or not, all of this mud, one summer of driving on paved roads. One summer of driving on paved roads will do this to your frame. Okay, that's not too bad. The inside does feel a little flaky. You guys can't see in there, it's not enough light. I'm going to beat it with a hammer, get as much of this scale out as I can. There's some right there. You can see how thick that is. I forget rust. When metal rusts, it expands like some ridiculous amount. But that used to be my frame. Alright, so let's get some water in here. We're going to flush this out. We're going to clean it out. We're going to bang it with a hammer. Oh boy. Hold on. I got a real treat right here. Oh, broke. Dang. It's a really big piece. Come on. Oh boy. Look at that. That's really good stuff. Alright, well, we're gonna get back to work here. Clean this up a bit. And we're gonna cut up. I don't think we're gonna do the whole section like I was saying before. We're gonna go up to about 1 or 2 inches past the spring hanger here, because the steel up here seems fine. And we're gonna scab in a piece all the way along here. And I call that good enough. I want to preface that by saying, like, this is not a restoration. This is a fix it and drive it, and someday it's going to fail again, but for now, that's not important. The goal is to get this truck structurally sound enough that I can take it out on the road with a bunch of yard waste in the back of it and go to the dump. That's it. That's its job. And this repair is going to do that. So, just getting that out there. Here's where we're at right now. Frame's cut out behind here. Not completely. But I got the CAD out, the cardboard assisted design. And I roughed up this piece of steel here. It's pretty close. I made it oversized so I can shave it down. And I think what we're going to do here is I'm going to make another template for the top. We're going to go up to right here on this transmission mount. Actually, this mount is for the cab. No, not the cab. The stabilizer bearing for the drive shaft here. So this cross member, we're going to go up to there, and we're going to lay a piece along the top here. After this is welded in place, put it on the top. And then we'll do the same on the bottom, because on the bottom, I don't know if you can see that, but there's light through there. Most of it's okay. Right here, actually just right here, I can feel it. There's a big dip, and it's like very thin. So we're either going to plate the top and the bottom, or just the bottom. I'm not totally sure yet. We may just do the bottom, but I'm going to get some angle that I can slide over this or put up against this so that I don't hit my brake line. And I got to do some more cutting in here. That plate's going to have to get ground down quite a bit to fit in here, because I think what we're going to do is a butt weld, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We may go above and just lay a strip in here, because the top is actually completely fine. I may grind this down, leave this shoulder here a little bit, and then just lay a little piece in here about 1/4 inch wide and weld it in and weld it to this. So yeah, we're just kind of making it up as we go. Whole thing's kind of an as-built, so time to do some more cutting. I'm just cleaning up and getting ready to call it a day, but I'm going to show you just quick what the plan of attack is here. So I fabricated this plate, and it's going to sit here like this. You're going to have to trust me, it's hard to do with one hand. It's going to sit here. I'm going to butt weld it there, and I'm going to butt weld it there, just tack actually, not like a full weld. And then along the top here, we're going to cut a strip, and we're going to make the frame, come on focus, about that much wider. And then, so we'll weld that part on first, once we get our measurement. Then I'll tack this in place. I'll stitch weld it, and then come back and finish welding it. But I'll have it tacked here, and I'll have it tacked here, and then we'll move on to the next chunk here. I'm also going to weld a tab across the bottom here that will attach to the bottom here of this plate to hold it so it doesn't flex in and out. And then once everything else is welded, we're going to cut a portion of this bottom rail out and weld in a new piece of this here. And that's what we're going to do. But for today, this is what I got done. Doesn't seem like a lot, but there was a lot of thinking involved. It's It's an as-built kind of project. I think I'm about, so it is currently 4 o'clock. So I've got just over 4 hours into this, which isn't too bad. But that's it for today. And I'm not going to be able to get back to this for at least 4 days minimum, depending on weather. It might be longer. But for you guys, it'll be the snap of a finger, thanks to editing. So we'll see you in a little bit. Quick review of what's happened so far. I've got my my patch here made, and I welded it on the inside. Not a welder, remember. Welded it on the inside, and then I ground this down, and I welded it in, and then I smoothed it out, so it should be just about the same profile as that piece there. So this part still needs a little bit more trimming, but it's going to go in more or less like this. Underneath, like the existing one did, you can see there how it went. So it'll go in there and be more or less the same sort of shape. And then I've got the bottom here marked. I'll have to, once this is all in, I'm going to tack it in place temporarily again. And then I'm going to do some marks, and we'll make sure that that's still the bottom. And I'm going to cut it, and we'll do the same thing we did on the top, on the bottom. And maybe weld it to this. You can see there it's thin, but everywhere else it's pretty good. I've gone through here and I checked it with my I don't know what the hell you call it, not my calipers, but anyways, I checked it with that. That seems to be the thinnest spot, so I think I might utilize that, and I'll drill it out and I'll make that into one of our new drain holes. Or when I get to the point where I'm going to weld this together, maybe I'll cut it out and we'll put another patch there. We'll see when we get to that point. I'm not too worried about it right now. But for now, I'm going to finish, well, I'm not going to finish. I'm going to do some more work on this patch, get it to fit really nice, and then we'll take another video. I have been out here fighting for my damn life, folks. Who would have thought the rust would be worse than I thought? So I plated this in. I haven't put the bottom plate on yet. And I started going in here. That's fine. Seemed fine. So I started to clean it up for paint, because I was going to paint. And as soon as I touched it with the flappy pad, it turned blue. So obviously it's really thin. So I got this plate out here, and I just welded the shit out of this thing. I ran out of gas, so I had to get the flux core out. So I'm using the 305 flux coat with the MIG pack. What is it, 145 or something like that? Just a little, it's that little guy right there. Teeny tiny little thing. So it was going fine and dandy. Then we get the flux core coat out, and it's spitting like crazy. You can see we weren't doing too bad. And then the flux coat, it's just, oh my god. So I've been just doing a pass, and then I ground it off, did another pass. We're not really making much progress, but it's gonna hold. I am not proud of that, but I'm done with that. We're gonna tidy up here, and then we're gonna hit it here. We're gonna hit it here, tie it into this spring mount, because I want that to be really well enforced. That can be that's an important load point, and I know that the portion in here is compromised, so I want that to be transferred through the plate and spread out, and not have to worry about it down there. And we're gonna, so there's a plate behind this. This is doubled up to about here. So there's another, there's 1/8 all the way up to about there, down. And it welded in fine, but as soon as I started to clean up around here, it got thin, and I had this piece, so I already kind of cut. So I tweaked it, and we're putting it over top. So this is extra strong. And it's tied in up here. There was there was a lip like this here, right? And this plate comes up to here. So I was just kind of filling it in, which is when it got real messy. Anyways, we're going to do past there, going to do past here. I think that's fine. We'll leave that alone. And then maybe if I have time, go down along here. It's just about 6:30 in the evening here now, and the sun's disappearing fast, so I gotta do this, and then I gotta get cleaned up, because I gotta go to work tomorrow. Gotta go to bed. All in all, just this, welding this in, fitting these pieces perfectly and welding this in, I started at 11 o'clock today, and it's 6:30 now, so yeah. Anyways, back to work. Today is a new day, and I've already started working here. Just ground that down. I'm going to grind it off and re-weld it. And I did in here, and I did it under there. Yeah, it's not pretty, I know. But fate has smiled upon me. I went to town the other day, and I saw something on the side of the road. I pulled over, and it was 4 sheets of 1/8 plate that had been sheared like this. It was wrapped in like saran wrap, packing wrap. So I threw it in the back of the Honda and brought it home. It's pretty rusty, but it's almost exactly the right width for the frame. Like, I can't believe my luck there, so I'll be saving the rest of that larger plate section, and I'll be using this now. I'm just going to clean it up with a grinder and make the piece for the bottom there underneath, and then I'll weld it in. So let's get doing that. Alright, that's not so bad. We're really good in here. Right there is not so great. Probably grind that and re-weld it. That was dripping, so I'll have to redo that. Just make some adjustments. Found this. Great. That's fine. I won't worry about that. That only holds me to the truck, right? So we're pretty good there. Just got to do under right along there. And I've done the other side. Excuse me while I get up off of the ground. So here is the inside. It's not bad. That's a filler weld on top of that one because I wanted to grind it flush. And then I got a little bit more to do right there, like I said. And I think I got to do... Did I do there yet? Let's have a look. I did do there. Okay, so there's like 2 more spots and then this side's finished. And then I guess clean it and we'll paint it up. I'll just spray paint it for now until I can get around to doing the sandblasting, but I'm pretty happy. I hope I never have to get that guy off of there. Probably have to cut it off, but anyways, I'm pretty happy. It went pretty well. Where's that piece of metal I cut out? I'll show you. Sorry about that. Where did I put that thing? Oh, there it is. So this is the piece that was out of the bottom, or a piece of one of the pieces I cut out. You can see the cross section here. We're not bad until we get to here, and this would have been the portion that went right here. Kind of the swoopy bit. Come on, focus. Focus. There we go. So yeah, it was pretty thin there. You can see I got ground there, but the side, like the side wall here, was fine. So it was a really nice solid piece to weld to. No, it didn't blow through at all anywhere, so that's a good weld. Should hold fine. This outside piece, oh yeah, she's still hot, is it's pretty good. You can see the side wall there. That whole piece is fine. So yeah, we did the bottom and the inside, and I think that this side's pretty much done. Come on. You'd think for the price of these new smartphones they'd focus a little better. Yeah, a little more cleanup, a couple more welds, some spray paint, and then we're on to this side. And I'm cautiously optimistic that this side's going to be better. I think I think I'm just going to cut that out, and instead of doing the two-piece like I've got here, I'm going to do what I was going to do on this side originally, but for whatever reason I figured I'd be able to cheat it and get away with it, is I'm just going to do one big piece. We'll go up to just past the leaf spring hanger, and hopefully be able to work around our Honda Civic exhaust here, because I really don't want to pull it off. Alright, let's get back to work. It's a thing of beauty. Looks even better with a coat of rust paint on it. So I took down, had some rust there, I took that down with the flappy pad and the wire wheel down to bare metal. Did that for this whole section here as well. And I've just put like, this paint was cold, so this is a really thick coat, and it's going to take ages to dry. But it's going to have lots of time to do that. So it is thoroughly coated in rust paint. This was all down to bare metal. So we are set for this side. This side is done. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It was a lot more work than I was expecting, but we are officially at the halfway done mark for this portion of the pickup truck project. So that's a good milestone. I think that's going to wrap up part 2. And part 3 will be repairing the other side, which is, there might not even be a part 3, let's be honest. It's the same exact job on the other side. So there's not really too much more for me to show, really. It would just be me repeating myself, which I do plenty enough already. But yeah, so I'll just explain then what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut that out, patch it, clean it up, paint it, just like I have done with this side. And then, I guess, if there's a part 3, it will be making the flat deck. And if there's a part 4, it will be fixing the cab, which may or may not happen. If I am able to find, like, a square body B-Series Mazda, or a square body 80s Ford Ranger, or a short box S10, all of around the same vintage, I would probably sooner swap the running gear into another truck than I would fix this cab. But I do have everything to fix this cab. We'll see what happens. Summer's on the way. I'm going to be pretty busy. Maybe this coming winter. I don't know. But that's enough of me talking about things that probably will never happen. And I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. This was my first time doing anything of this sort of manner. I've never dug this far into welding before, and I think it turned out pretty good. You can let me know in the comments. I'm sure there's more than a couple of welders that are going to see this and go, oh my god, what has he done? But like I said previously, I am not a welder, and like I said previously, that's my wife's job. She's a welder fabricator. She said it's good enough for this, and frankly, if I can be completely honest, my welds are a sight better than some of these factory ones. So I think we'll be just fine. Okay, yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Stay safe.